Morning, boys and girls. It's time for our Monday read aloud. And I just want to say happy Monday. It's a little rainy, but that's okay. We're all warm and cozy in our house. And this is going to be the start of our read aloud for our first full week of at-home learning. Again, we're going to be reading 26 Fairmount Avenue by Tomie dePaola. I am able to share this book with you with permission from Penguin Random House Publishings and PUTNAM and Sons. Thank you for sharing this book with us and giving us permission to share it with you. Now, when we last met Tomie, or we last were talking with Tomie, Tomie was going through quite a big change. He was getting ready to move to his new house, and a big storm came through town. And that big storm, boys and girls, was called a hurricane, if you remember. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hear about what happens after the storm, how the house is getting built, as well as meet some of Tomie's family members that we haven't met yet. Now, there's a few words in here that you might not be familiar with. They're building type words, so I thought I'd share them with you just so that when you heard them, you knew what they meant. Now, first word is studs. Studs are pieces of wood that they use in framing or to build things. In Tomie's case, it's going to help build his wall. Studs are also known as 2x4s. Something else that we're going to be reading about, or we're going to hear, is the word foundation. Now, foundation is the part of the wall that goes underneath the ground that helps keeps the walls of your house upright and sturdy and in place. The other part, or the other word, is cellar. And cellar we've heard before, but I just wanted to remind you that cellar means basement, okay? Finally, the last word that you might not know what means and doesn't really have anything to do with building is called laxative. That word laxative actually comes about in a funny story that comes towards the end or end of chapter 2. And you'll find out what it means when we get closer. But just know the word laxative, nothing to do with building. So here we go. Chapter 2. When my mom and dad decided to build a house, our friends told them that they were building out in the sticks. That meant out where not many people lived. That's funny because when my mom and dad decided to move from Philadelphia, my family told, or my mom's family really, told my dad the same thing, that we were moving out to the sticks. They didn't know anyone in New Jersey at the time, and they thought New Jersey was just open land where nothing really was. But it didn't end up being that way. But my family felt the same way, so that's a funny connection. There wasn't even a real street in this town, just a dirt road, but it wasn't far from our apartment on Columbus Avenue. It was really great watching the house being built. First, a steam shovel dug a huge hole for the foundation. Next, a cement truck came and workers poured the cement down a chute that looked like a long sliding board. So here's the cement truck, and there's the cement coming out. That chute is kind of like the slide part. And these wooden parts, these wooden boards sticking up, they're the frame for the foundation, and that's going to help keep the cement in place when it's dry and when it's being poured. I pretended that the concrete gushing down was lava coming out of a volcano. I had seen that in a movie with my mother. Text to world connection. After the foundation was set and the cellar was finished, the builders came to start on the house itself. They covered the opening of over the cellar with wood, and that became the floor. Then they put up these things called studs, which were pieces of wood called 2x4s because they were 2 inches thick by 4 inches wide. They had just finished this part of the house when the hurricane struck. It was a good thing the walls weren't up yet, because the house probably would have blown away. A new house a few streets away was knocked down by the wind, and all that was left was the cellar and a mess of broken wood. They had to start all over again. It was sad, but I was glad it wasn't our house. So here's the walls that are getting built in Tomie's house. That's the frame, and those are the 2x4s. All of our relatives were excited about our house on 26 Fairmount Avenue. I guess a new house with a big yard and a view on top was exciting. The view was of West Peak and Castle Craig. I thought it was exciting. We both had Irish and Italian relatives in our family because my mom was Irish and my dad was Italian. The Irish relatives came to visit the most because they lived in Wallingford, which wasn't too far from Meridian. Some of the Italian relatives lived up in Massachusetts and some down in the Bronx in New York City. I was pretty lucky because I had one grandfather and two grandmothers and a great-grandmother. But my grandmothers and my grandfathers were all called, my grandmother and my great-grandmother were all called Nana, the same thing. And that was confusing to me. And then there was this great business. But I figured out what to call them. And everyone always knew who I was talking about. Could you imagine having 3 grandmothers all named Nana? I called my Irish great-grandmother Nana upstairs because she spent all of her time upstairs. She was 94 years old. I called my Irish grandmother Nana downstairs because if she wasn't helping Nana upstairs, she was either in the kitchen or sitting in her chair in the parlor, looking out the window so she'd know what was going on in the neighborhood. My Italian grandmother lived in Fall River, Massachusetts, so I, of course, called her Nana Fall River. I called my Irish grandfather Tom because he told me to. Tomie will be grown up before he can say grandpa, he told my mom. He can call me Tom, so I did. That's funny. Every Sunday we went to Wallingford. As soon as we arrived, I ran upstairs. Upstairs was a special place for me, and my Nana upstairs was a special person to me. I loved her, and every Sunday I spent all of my time with her. There's Tomie running right upstairs. Nana downstairs would help Nana upstairs into the big Morris chair next to her bed. She'd take out a long cloth and gently tie Nana upstairs in her chair so she wouldn't fall out. I pestered and pestered Nana downstairs until she tied me in a chair too. But she put the knot in the front, so if I got tired of being in the chair, I could get down and poke around or go to the bathroom or something else. When I heard her coming up the stairs, I'd climb back into my chair. I got pretty good at tying the knot back, and she never came in the room until I was ready. It was Nana downstairs in my private game. And there is Nana upstairs. Isn't she cute? And there they are sitting together in their chairs, tied. I wonder what conversations Tomie and his Nana upstairs had. They must have been wonderful. I loved to look around Nana upstairs' room. She had beautiful brushes and combs and glass jars that held her big silvery hairpins on top of her dresser. Sometimes, if I was lucky, I'd find candy mints or lifesavers in the sewing box on the table out in the hall. One Sunday, I opened the sewing box and there was no candy, only needles and thread and buttons. So I went searching very quietly. Finally, I got to the bathroom. I stood on the wooden toilet seat and opened up the medicine cabinet. There on the shelf, to my surprise, was a small packet of chocolates, all wrapped in silver paper. I took them and went back into the bedroom. Now, Tomie might have missed this message, but I'm going to share it with you. It's never a good idea to go into a medicine cabinet, and it's secondly, never a good idea to take anything out of a medicine cabinet, especially if you don't know what it is. It could be very dangerous. And in Tomie's case, we're going to find out what happened. This, boys and girls, is where that word that Mrs. Willis told you, laxative, this is where this word comes in. Again, never take medicine that you don't know what it is, what it's for, and without your parents' permission. Remember that. So now Tomie's run back into the room, and this is what he does. I tied myself back in my chair, and Nana upstairs and I ate the chocolates. All of them. Bad idea. Really bad idea. Well, those weren't chocolates. In fact, those weren't chocolates at all. They were laxatives. And laxatives help you go to the bathroom. A lot. both Nana upstairs and I didn't feel so good. I think we both made a mess. Nana downstairs never forgot the mints or the lifesavers again. Nana upstairs room was always well stocked with sweets by the time I got there. And there's a little table where the candy should be and wasn't that one time. Now, that's the end of chapter 2. I love that. It was so funny. And I thought about a question for you guys. So our question for the day, this is something I'm going to do every day, is I'm going to share this question with you. Okay? And I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it also so that you have it without my face in it and it's a little bit more blown up. But it says, Tomie tells us about a few important family members, especially Nana upstairs. So what I would like for you to do today, guys, in just a comment, really quick, doesn't have to be long unless you want it to be long, share a comment about your important family member. Include their name and some specific details about why they are so important to you. And know that I can't wait to read all about it. So, this is my daily check-in with you. I hope you enjoyed our chapter. We'll read chapter 3 tomorrow of 24 Fairmount Avenue. And I'll also ask you another important pressing question that I would like to hear from you for. Know that I miss you and I love you and I can't wait to hear all of your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you have any questions of any kind, have mom or dad reach out to us through reach out to me, through Dojo, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Good luck with your day 3 work. And again, if you have any questions, you know where to get me on Dojo. Have a great day and enjoy your snack.